Well, hello and good morning from Alton Towers. It's a bit grey and drizzly today, however, that's not going to get us down because it's a very special trip for us today. So first of all, it's his first trip without our little baby boy, our little Arthur. And the second reason this is so special is because this is our belated anniversary special super duper weekend of staying at the Alton Towers Hotel. Woo-hoo! So, obviously you're going to get the usual from us. We're going to be rattling around the park, having a go and everything, having a great time, all that kind of stuff. But we're also,
ducks.
That's it, Carly and ducks, you know, like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump said. But what we're also going to be doing is, obviously, because we're staying at the hotel, we're going to be reviewing the hotel as well. So be prepared for gratuitous restaurant footage, reception, room, bathroom, facilities, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, should be a really, really fun weekend. Yeah, we'll keep you posted how we get on. Okie dokie, so we'll give you a bit of an update on what we've done so far, because we've done a few rides since we last spoke to you. What we've done is we got here for ERT and we did 2 rides on the Wicker Man. Now, Carly's going to fill you in on the Wicker Man as it was particularly noteworthy. What do you reckon, Carly?
Yeah, it was brilliant because all the effects were running at full pelt, which I've never experienced before, and our first go we got to go on the back row, which is the best.
Back row, baby.
Super duper airtime, and you couldn't see a damn thing in the tunnels and bits and bobs because of all the smoke and effects, which made it feel even faster than usual. So it was really, really good.
Breathtaking, wasn't it? Absolutely stunning.
Neither of us have ridden it on ERT before, so we don't know whether it's always like that on ERT. But if you have a Merlin pass and could get here for ERT, it might be worth doing.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Okay, yes, so we did one ride where we had the epic smoke and lights and everything effects, and then obviously the super cool kids that we are, we ran straight around and went on it again. Same thing. This time row 5. Boo, never mind. Yeah, so that was Wicker Man. Then what we did was we decided to go for a cheeky ride on Marauders Mayhem, which is pretty standard. Good fun, no queue, so it was walk on, happy days. Then we had a wander around to Spinball Whizzer, which, can I just say, was an absolute revelation in that it was fantastic. So much fun, so much force. At certain points we were thought we were going to go through the floor of the car. We were getting pushed down that much, and then we got airtime, we got thrown around, we were spinning so fast. Funnily enough, the rain's been sort of on and off. At that point, just before we got into the station, they shouted out over the tannoy to two riders per car. Not sure what that was about, but we don't know if that had a positive or negative effect, if we'd have spun faster if there'd have been 4 people, or was it faster because there was only 2 of us in there? We don't know. It was so much fun though, so really good fun. And then we just made our way round to the Smiler, and the queue boards, or the queue times on the app at least anyway, haven't been very accurate, and we went on the Smiler and it said it was only 20 minutes, but it was more like, what was it, 45, 50 minutes ish. And also they did keep coming over, because we thought operations were a bit shoddy, a bit shonky, but they did keep coming over on the announce system, politely asking for school kids to basically stop running around on the ride platform, stop basically going crazy and causing delays. So we think that's what was causing the delays on that, but other than that, it was the Smiler. The train we were on for some reason had one hell of a rattle. We were on row 3, I was on the outside, Carly was obviously on the inside seat, and it sounded like there was something stuck to the wheel, or like something was flapping. Weirdly, I felt that the ride didn't feel that rough. It was just this noise. Every time we slowed down, you could just hear this noise. So you're never quite sure with the Smiler because it is a gear slower. But anyway, yeah, other than that, great day so far. We've just had a bite to eat and we are going to crack on, and we'll check back in with you in a little bit. Bye. So here we are, we finally made it to the Alton Towers Hotel. Now what we've got here is a Moon Voyager room, which obviously, as you can see, gives you room for 2 kids, some funky, crazy, steampunky type decorations, lamps and lights and stuff, as you can see up there. You've got this cool little thing in the kids area actually. Watch this. How cool is that? Just reminds me of the top of Mystery Castle in Fantasyland, if you've ever ridden it. Excellent ride. You get a games console. It is an Xbox 360. I'm not shaming technology because, you know, to get anything is a good thing, but yeah, it's a Xbox 360. Just saying. Then you get a nice, decent sized telly actually. I've had smaller tellies in hotel rooms before. You get a whacking great bed with a whacking great teddy bear on it for some reason, and it just says on there, "My name is Archibald and I live in this amazing room. Please leave me here to continue to enjoy my adventures with Sir Algernon." So I'm assuming it's just basically for keeping the kids company, so we won't be taking that home. I don't think there's room in my car, but anyway, that's the room. Not bad at all. We'll give it a try, and obviously we'll let you know how everything goes in the morning.
You almost lost us.
Okie dokie, so it's a good morning once again from day 2 of our Alton Towers anniversary weekend vlogamajig. We've just done ERT on Wicker Man, another epic ride full of smoke and giggles and epic photos. So we're just making our way to Blivy as we know her, for potentially a sneak in on the last knockings of ERT, but if not, doesn't matter, give it a ride because we didn't give it a ride yesterday. So we will crack on and we'll do a lot more filming today and give you more thoughts on what happened yesterday, the hotel, and what's going to happen today as well. So there's Carly, by the way, just in case. See you in a bit. Right, so just gone and done Oblivion. Walk on, literally walk on. Well, you say it's walk on. It's about a 10-mile walk, and then you walk on. So you feel it afterwards. That's it. Hike on. No, that's a Blackpool. No. So yeah, good ride. I allowed Carly to have the wing seat, the outside seat, because that's normally mine. Yeah, it's my seat, so she could have it. Epic as always. And then just on the way out, Carly bestowed upon me the pleasure of the horse racing arcade game, which I'd never done before. Yeah, safe to say I probably won't be doing that again. It was exhausting. My horse was called Top Peach, and Carly's horse was called Magic 7. I think we both came like collectively last, and neither of us won the looking good stakes either, let's be honest, but or the fitness, but anyway, good fun. So we're making our way around to Hex now, and we'll let you know how we got on there. See ya.
Keep your head back. Hold on tight. You must escape. Go!
Right, so we've just been on Hex, which I do not like, but I went on it anyway because I'm brave. And then we headed over to Rita, where we had a bit of shenanigans with the people that were in front of us. Well, I say people, they were children really, throwing food whilst the ride was going round. But what was good to see was that the ride-ups had noticed and came straight over and dealt with them as soon as the ride had stopped. So that was quite, I don't know, it was good to see, because you sometimes see people messing about around the parks and you think, oh, does anybody ever actually deal with it? But on this occasion they did, which was nice. Rita was good fun as well. Slightly rough, as always, but still awesome. Good little pockets of airtime, and you can't beat a cable launch, in my opinion. Anything to add, Andrew?
No, not really. Carly was very, very brave going on Hex. Last time she went on was in the early days of when she was pregnant with Arthur, and that wasn't...
I didn't know I was pregnant at that point.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Thankfully it wasn't all the ride that made her feel ill that day, but no, she did really, really well on that. Once again, there wasn't many people inside on Hex, because it's just consistent every time, as long as the doors open and let you into the next bit. There was some very shouty young kids once again. So we're not getting on one of those moaning about kids days, but you know, when they just start shouting, and it just ruins it for everybody else. But apart from that, really, really good, really, really solid, and yeah, as Carly said, Rita, no complaints there from me. So, all good.
Now we're going to head over probably to Nemesis and Galactica and see what their queue lines are saying.
Yeah,
so
it seems to be another one of those days where everybody's just hanging around. We're looking at the queue times. Everybody's on Smiler, Wickerman or Spinball Whizzer. Why everybody always
the Spinball Whizzer thing. I never understand the Spinball Whizzer.
It's good fun, but
it is good, but it's not 55 minutes in a queue line fun.
It is. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to go opposite end of the park. Have a good
See you
time.
later.
Okie dokie, so good evening and welcome to the final thoughts wrap-up section on our anniversary weekend at Alton Towers. Now, as you can probably tell, we're not no longer at Alton Towers. It's a couple of days after, but for reasons which I'll get into in a few moments, we decided we'd do the wrap-up from home. I reported on what the hotel room was like when we got there. Now, just to give you the full feedback from sort of the night there and then obviously into the next morning before we checked out. So the night time there was okay. Because we were there on our own, we didn't have Arthur or any of the kids with us. We weren't that interested in going down to see any of the shows. We were actually quite exhausted. Obviously, as anybody who has a newborn knows, you basically sleep is a much missed pleasure, luxury, and that's what we wanted to catch up on while we were there. And unfortunately, the show ran till I think it was about bang on 10 o'clock. and I think due to the position of our room, which was right next to basically the door next to the atrium where all the show goes on in the little pirate ship at the bottom of the atrium, and the atrium obviously goes all the way up to the ceiling. So it was quite loud, quite noisy, and very raucous. And then afterwards, I don't know what was occurring outside the hotel, but there was loads of people outside. It almost sounded like it was a school trip at 10:30 at night. It was very bizarre. We had a window open a little crack, and you could hear, just a load of noise basically, and it was a bit, we weren't expecting that. We were expecting, you get people running up and down the corridor sometimes, and families going past and things like that, but not outside. It sounded like like a night, Friday night outside, the pub in town or something like that. But anyway, so that was a bit of a negative. So other than that, the bed was really comfortable. No complaints, no aches or pains from the night's sleep. Then the next morning, breakfast. Excellent. The Secret Garden restaurant where we went, which you have to book for, they actually had a member of staff, because sometimes you go to these hotels and you have to book, and you walk down and there's nobody there and it's a free-for-all, which we kind of experienced at Legoland earlier on in the year, and that was just literally the worst. It was like a feeding frenzy basically, and it was awful. This time it was fantastic. The member of staff was just letting people through, checking them off, and then getting a member of staff like in the different areas of the restaurant, getting their attention, and then they would then lead you to your table, tell you where everything was, so you weren't in two minds. You weren't wandering on like a headless chicken, unless that's what you wanted to do. And it worked fantastically. The surroundings were fantastic. It was beautiful. You could look out onto the lake there where they got the big fountain. And the food was fantastic. Obviously, it's just your sort of buffet breakfast, but the sausages were amazing. The mushrooms were amazing. The little hash brown spheres were really, really tasty. There was nothing that was overly greasy or overly salty or anything like that. It was all like really well done, really nicely done. And because people knew where to go, there was much less elbows and people fighting with each other just to get a rasher of bacon, which you don't want. So anyway, top marks for the restaurant. Not a complaint at all for that. And the actual overall sort of ambience of the hotel itself is really nice. The whole sort of Victorian explorer, the whole Sir Algernon thing works really, really well. And also, just to mention, the night before when we went to check in, after we'd finished at the park for the day, there were two actors who were welcoming people in, complimented Carly on her excellent wellies. Wasn't the first member of staff to do that, actually. There was another member of staff earlier on in the day on Spinball Wizard who complimented her on her wellies because they were epic. They're yellow with bees on, FYI. And the actors were really fun. They didn't sort of engage you too much if you were looking a bit tired and like you didn't really want to bother too much with their acting, but no, that was really nice little touch. And like I say, the overall ambience, the music, the furniture, there was lots of stuff for the kids to do, tables with colouring books and pens and things like that. Really, really nice. But it didn't seem like they were trying too hard. It wasn't overly like a family hotel. It was just a really nicely themed, really pleasant place to stay. Then obviously on to day 2, just to sort of finish off where we'd left off, speaking to people, saying we were going to Forbidden Valley basically to go to Galactica and Nemesis. We went to Galactica. At that point we were checking the queue times and everything was around about, Galactica I think was about 15 minutes supposedly, Nemesis about the same, because everything over at the other side of the park near the entrance was rammed solid, so we went over that side of the park. We got in the queue for Galactica. Was really quite quick. We were on station 2 as well, so we didn't have to go over the bridge. We were straight in the ride building. But as can often be the way, we got about 2 or 3 places down into the ride building and the ride went down. And it didn't just go down for a small guest illness or whatever, it was actually properly down. And it was the train in station 1 where people had been were stuck basically in the flying position, and they were stuck there for a good 15-20 minutes while we were there and for a period afterwards. So that's just how it is. That's the safety features working, we know that, but for them obviously it probably wasn't too comfortable. But because of the Galactic getting the queue getting evac, they also did say that we were due a fast pass when we were leaving, which there was no member of staff handing out the fast tracks afterwards, so we had to go to guest services and they provided us with one for when we next go, which is good. So if you're told you should get a fast pass or fast track rather, and you don't get one, just go to guest services and say, I was on this ride at such a time, it went down, we were told we were going to get a fast track, and they didn't give us one. Oh, obviously, so long as they didn't give you one, don't go taking the mickey now. Nobody likes one of those. So yeah, the queue line got evacuated from Galactica, and then when we got outside, we checked the queue times for other rides, and we discovered that Oblivion had gone down. So what this had meant was that on a day when it was getting very, very busy very quickly, everybody just sort of jumped into all the other queue lines, and everything had jumped up. Nemesis was around about 50 minutes, which I'm trying to struggle to think of the last time Nemesis was 50 minutes when I was there. That opened up the extended queue line, and the weather also was appalling. So we were looking around thinking, you know, we've been here for a day and a half. We've done probably more than we were expecting to do the day before. We had a good time that day as well. We thought we'll go and do Jewel on the way out, and went to Jewel, and they were queuing into the woods on that. So we thought, let's cut our losses. The weather's awful. Let's get home. Let's get dry, and let's go and see our little baby boy, because we'd be missing him. So that was our day. We had a really nice time. Alton Towers, like lots of people, and we've got a special place in our hearts for Alton Towers. I proposed to Carly there. We had our first proper day out there as well. Funnily enough, exactly a year to the day on Saturday, the 15th of June, you know, we'll always go back there. We'll be taking Arthur there. You know, well, we'll keep taking Arthur there, and obviously when he gets older, and take the other kids there as well. They all love it. So yeah, it's always a special experience and a special place. So yeah, that was the end of our Alton Towers vlog. We hope you enjoyed it. Coming up next will be a cheeky Thorpe Park vlog, so keep an eye on that, where the weather was much better than it was at Alton Towers, but we'll talk about that obviously during that vlog. So hope you enjoyed the vlog, like I said, and we'll see you next time. Bye.